Okay, so I am here with my friend Jordi Moncada. Jordi, when I first met you at Taos in 2015, and we started to speak a little bit in Spanish, the first thing you asked me was, "Are you Madrid or Barcelona?" And luckily for me, I was Barcelona because I didn't know where the hell you were from. Okay, so Barcelona kid.
Barcelona kid, yep. South of Barcelona,
Okay.
small town. Yeah.
How many languages do you speak?
So out of necessity, I speak Catalan and Spanish, being from Barcelona, Italian because I studied in Italy, a bit of French, I studied in France, and then English. Yeah.
Yeah, so 5 languages. That's the cool thing about Europe, man. You meet these people and they speak English. Your English written and grammar and vocabulary is probably better than most Americans, and you have an accent, right? But your English is perfect as far as I can tell. That's cool, man. And you were at Bain. How did you make partner young? I mean, that's not easy to do. You were in your early 30s or something when you hit partner?
Yeah, I mean, I think at Bain, basically, it has a very clean structure of you got to progress as you work through that. You have this up or out, meaning it's not cutthroat, but you have to go through the ladder. Every year you get evaluated, and then you move to the next step, and you just keep working hard. And the better that you do, the faster you go. It's a completely meritocratic culture.
So
which
if I meet
is
an old
dangerous
guy
sometimes.
that says senior manager or something, I know that guy didn't quite.
No, it could have started later. So
Yeah. So you made partner in 5 years or something,
no,
or you're older than you look.
probably both. So now I forgot how many. So 3 + 4, maybe 7 years.
That's amazing. That doesn't happen easily. And what blew me away was that you were the partner for technology on the West Coast, which is a big deal, right? Because Bain's like this Boston company, and I could see the difference when I talked to the Boston guys. They didn't quite have the lingo down. They were very academically up to it. But you were living here, so you must have been invaluable to them.
Yeah, I think at Bain you kind of specialize, and obviously being a practitioner before being a consultant helps, right?
Yeah.
Having worked in technology, lived in technology, and then all my years at Bain, then it was helpful. And then landing in Silicon Valley after so many years, because I had been here from '99 to '03, '04, left, spent all over the world doing consulting, helping companies. Then came back in 2011 when, roughly, I think I met you in 2015.
15, yeah.
So
doing the due diligence and then the strategy,
That's
most
right,
importantly, for post-acquisition.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Then you went to Cisco.
Then I went to Cisco, that's right. As a consultant, I loved my time at Bain. It's a great school, met my wife there, so no regrets whatsoever. But I was missing kind of the consequences of your advice, right? It's very easy to give advice, but then you have to live with the consequences. And I wanted to kind of have a little more ownership.
Yeah.
And went to Cisco, which was also a great ride.
With a huge role. I mean, you were the chief digital officer.
Yeah, so
reporting to the COO.
COO, that's right. So Irving Tan, who was the CEO back then, he came and said, hey, we're transforming Cisco into more of a software-driven company. Obviously, Cisco's been doing amazingly well at doing switches and routers and equipment. And as software became more important, they wanted to sell more, or they are selling more software and new business models as a service, pay as you go versus pay one time. And that implies a lot of changes, right? All the systems got to change, the processes have to change. And so, I went there to actually understand the business requirements of how things would have, what Cisco wanted to do, and then transform that into internal changes. And so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I would imagine that experience with all the experiences at Bain is what's driven you to found and create TechTorch.
That's right. So I think it's interesting. At Bain, I worked a lot with smaller companies because I was doing technology, but also helping private equities evaluate other technology companies. And there was this constant kind of realization that the digital transformation that we're seeing in the Valley was not equally spread around the world and around the different sizes of companies.
Yeah. So like if we went to Shadahu, I would imagine there's not a lot of companies
a lot of
that are calling you for digital transformation.
And then when I went to Cisco, which obviously is a very evolved company, there I also realized how hard it was to kind of transform. Different reasons, but that sparked the idea of what if all this knowledge of years in consulting and what I'm learning at Cisco and Cisco's customers, I could package it in a way to help close this inequality gap of technology adoption for many companies.
Yeah.
And the co-founder of TechTorch, Miguel, he actually was doing a similar job at Nike. Nike was going through this whole transformation of going direct to consumer. Nike was selling to retailers for many years, but now they wanted to sell shoes directly to consumers. You can get the shoes in no time at your door, and that requires a huge amount of change. And so he was driving that, and we were sharing war stories like how hard it is to make it and how hard it is to do this whole transformation. And that's what sparked, like, why don't we take it outside and package it?
Yeah.
And that's where we are.
Well, what I've loved about working with you guys is, A, you guys are really smart and you're onto something here, but also that, even though you're Cisco, he's Nike, we know a lot of people in, I would say, the enterprise, that as a platform, it can help all enterprises, and with its content, which is these ready-to-use use cases that need minimal, I would say, SI help or integration effort, you can help the world, right? There isn't a single company TechTorch can't help from the conversations that we've had with different people.
Yeah, no, I think we bring to the table three basic stuff. The first one is don't start from scratch. Like, don't try to reinvent the wheel. There's a lot of knowledge out there that you can apply. And so we've codified a lot of that knowledge. So that first thing that we bring to the table is, learn from the best.
Yeah.
Come to TechTorch, there's a library, you can just see how things are done. The second thing is a methodology to make it simpler. Again, when people think transforming technology, like they know how to buy a tool, but everything that goes around, how do you do that? So we've codified the methodology. And the third thing is a platform, literally a place where you can just go and apply all that. And so you don't need a lot of external help. You don't need to be super deep in IT. Literally, you can go to our platform, and the hope is that then you access all these best practices. You can apply a methodology, and everything is encapsulated there.
Yeah.
And our mission and vision is to shorten a lot the adoption of technology, the times and the cost, so that everyone can benefit from that.
Yeah.
And we close that inequality gap in technology adoption that we see, across different verticals.
Yeah, no, I love it. Well, I'm happy to be on board and part of the journey.
Thank you for being part of the journey.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Great, Jordi.
Thank you so
man.
much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's been fun.